Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Echo. So, we're in the final area, I'm fairly certain. And we're probably, if I was to guess, in the second of 3 puzzles. We can see up here, there is a key I need to get. And over here is a key I need to get. Not knowing if there are any elevators in this sequence, it's kind of obvious I need to go to the left first. I guess we'll go ahead and just run. It might be that we are in a different position and things will change. I would be kind of fine with the game if it did decide to say like no more. Like you can see things here are really really bright and golden in this final area. I suppose it is worth mentioning that this is just a big QuickTime event, isn't it? There you go. Eat that and see if that helps you any. So yeah, these are just QuickTime events here, and they're not great. We're also having cycling happening more often, it seems, than normal. Alright, down there is where we want to go. And so we get that slight stun. There we go. That was kind of perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to have happen. You can see. Can't jump down any further though. Like that felt like the first time that the game has actually had them eat grapes, or at least it felt like the first time I've ever seen them eat the grapes. So I'm guessing the idea here is that we'll just work our way through things and eventually make it. The quick cycling here does feed into a feeling that the game is kind of messing with me. Alright. So there's a key over there. And I think the keyhole... No, there's a key on that character. Interesting. So every action I take is really just pushing them forward. Can I not descend? So we saw no save point there, so we very possibly just have to start all over now. So we went left last time. Let's go right. Looks like there is a save point over there, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get to it. There we go. Maybe we can convince them to do some other actions. I suppose this is because of the way things are. Yeah, I really just want to be done with this last couple of puzzles in this game in general. Like, no more, please. I've had my fill. I don't feel it necessary to go any further. Alright. So now that I have a key, there's a key spot over there where I think the other key is. Alright, now I gotta be careful because I'm at a high chance of getting attacked again. And that's not a drop down place. This is a checkpoint, so I should just save here. Just kill these guys. And let's just get to save point so we don't end up having to start all over again. Seriously? Okay, there. Alright. Moving on. Again, trying not to have the enemies learn too much. Alright, this was no good. But it's not terrible either. Alright, where can we go and what can we do? Gotta go over there and see if we can there we go. Alright, well, we're kind of running into the same problem over and over again, and unlike Control, which I'm still trying to do comparisons to Control, in all fairness, Control is a much better funded and much better developed game. At least in Control I could go and do some side missions and increase my energy and health. Those few extra actions opened the door to me having something different I could focus on, whereas here it's this and only this. There's no other solutions available. It's a lot of animations to push people over and knock them over and such. And there is a death animation that happens when you get shot, so it's really not a situation where you had to absolutely run into like we didn't have to have this QuickTime event. We didn't have to struggle. I have no idea where I am. Like, you're just always in a situation here where you could potentially, I guess if you play safe enough, you could potentially pull this off. Alright. I think we're good. Put one there. Put one there. Get out of this room. And then I don't think they can follow me outside this room. And then we have some lagging. Yeah, for as pretty as this game is, it still lags. Unfortunately, I think that's part of the problem with a lot of video games at this point, is that we've hit a point where the games cannot be much prettier without it requiring people to have thousands of dollars worth of video cards alone. Yeah. And we're in a falling action section, so there's not even any people here. We're just going down an elevator, and then this elevator. Nice golden columns. This elevator will take us probably to the third and hopefully final puzzle. It'd be nice if it wasn't a puzzle though. Notice, look how the ceilings and the floors are merging together. Alright, we've got a ridiculous amount of people over there. So I am being chased by a large group of people. I gotta go. I gotta. Nope, I've just lost. So if the game didn't save at that point, and I believe I just got the AI to use a find a voice for me. So there was an achievement around that. Right. So over here, this is so pretty. That seems like that's where the key is over here, and then it seems like we're gonna have to kind of make a mad dash back. Or maybe not. Maybe that is all just nothing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So we're just out of here. And nobody's even following me. So that was easy. Thank goodness. But it does leave us open for some other boss fight. We put the helmet back on. Seems like it's raining out here now, which we haven't seen any rain up until this point. Although, is it really rain or is it something else? Yeah, we're gonna have to have some kind of resolution on the story side as far as who is proven right, or I bet nobody is proven right and it's left a little bit ambiguous. It did occur to me that perhaps you are being translated right now, and this is what happens when you get translated.
I have to know why you are doing this. You don't owe him anything. He hunted you down and brought you back against your will.
He died trying to help me.
That's so wonderfully naive. Foster, well, he truly doesn't give a shit. I think that's his reason for doing it. The long hauls are clocking in time to distance him from life, relations, everything.
Well, I was there.
So this also might be a case that you're not getting translated, but you're getting brainwashed by Foster to go back to grandfather. So I could see a good ending and a bad ending occurring, where you get to decide whether you rejoin Foster or not.
I've been selfish to let you go this far. You deserve to know the facts about Foster. He was his job. That's why I'm sure he didn't try to help you that night. If he did, it must have been for another reason than what you think. I really wish I wasn't right. As we became friends, I used to hope that he would stop. That he would want life again. But he never did.
I know exactly what he was. But you don't know me at all. You're not the first Gramps sent to get me. I saw them all coming, biding my time, waiting for the one who could
There's
set
nothing
me
to
free.
see.
That was Foster. Cold and detached, nothing to lose. The perfect candidate for Gramps to trust. But I could wake him up from his slumber. That's what I do. I get in. I push people's buttons.
What are you talking about?
I figured this was on him. He chose his line of work, this job in particular. I never had a choice. My life was decided centuries before I was even born. He was good, Foster, but I was better.
So
He
did
saw me
Inn
and
kill
felt
him?
sorry for me because I designed it to be so. Showed him strength, showed him weakness. Ultimately, showed him trust. He doesn't have a chance against me. No one really does. I don't gamble, because I've always already won.
So, yeah, it seems like both characters are getting depicted as worse and worse. It's like as we're going deeper and deeper, we're being shown as more and more unworthy, evil people. For lack of a better descriptor. There is the angry, hostile, atheist kind of argument that's coming from London, the computer character. We've been getting more of that, and it's a cliche to say the least. Whereas, depending on whether you think In is actually clever or not, she's being depicted as a hyper clever in character who knows everything, and her faith is totally justified and accurate. It's weird she has any faith at all, but it's also being completely proven from what we're seeing, if what we're seeing is true or not. It could be also that we are still in deep sleep and she's dreaming all of this, or she's still in deep sleep and she's being brainwashed by London. It could be that as she was going down the elevators, this planet was reading her mind and creating a world based on her own preconceived idea of an afterlife. There's a lot of could-bes. I don't think any of them really change the story much. I hope there isn't any more gameplay.
Something's out here.
Like, let's just walk to the final place and see the final cutscene and just be done. So we just descended, so we could never come back up, but I guess we've descended thousands of times and we could never come back up. some kind of light energy. But I don't know what that really means other than
I've got to cross. No other way.
Just gonna have to be careful, I guess. Unless, like, is it a scanner or is it hurting me? It did something to my HUD.
I think it's lighting my way.
The thing that's going on here is we're not really getting we're not really getting enough of a story or enough of a cutscenes that I think now, as we're approaching the end, we could actually have a hour and 30-minute, 90-minute.
That's the last thing I expected to find here.
A maintenance device.
Kindness.
It's basic safety protocol.
You're angry with me.
Honestly, I think you're delusional. You didn't make Foster do anything.
Resourcefuls always win, no matter the cost. Settling for anything else, even thinking it, is taboo.
What do you want, N? You want me to declare my defeat?
London, I need you to understand this.
I understand that you're very confident. Confidence is a good thing. I lost mine once. Had a bad spell for a few decades. As you so correctly pointed out, I felt obsolete. That's when I met Foster. He convinced me that even a sword has its uses in an age of technology.
Would you please hear me out?
No.
We're running into weird
Foster was
floors.
diving headfirst into the void. And I could do
My feet
nothing
really
about
aren't
it.
lining up with the
The only
stairs.
thing suggesting it could ever be any other way was that lighter. I'd see his hand tighten around it, or he'd whip it out to reassure himself it was still there. When I asked him about it, he said the lighter meant nothing to him. That was why he had it. He told me never to mention it again. He said it with such cold conviction. I knew he'd cut me off if I ever did. Then he gave it to you.
The one noisy element to his calm. It was obvious that was his handle, and that you'd see it the same way. He didn't give it to me. I took it because I knew it would be my ticket here. That's how I operate.
Why are you trying to turn me against you now?
Foster got shot to give me the moment I needed to end Grants. But instead of making me free, I realized that I'd come full circle. I'd been the perfect resourceful, manipulating all the pieces to secure my win. Never even questioning my right to be the winner. Because of me, Foster found himself in a situation where only one of us would survive, and it turned out to be the lesser. The one willing to sacrifice the other. And now I'm doing it again. Coming here by forcing you into London. But I'm done with it. You deserve a choice. An honest one.
Okay. See, yeah, this is a weird story.
It's not about the lighter anymore. Foster decided to help you. That means you did what I couldn't. You got him to engage. Since then, you've done everything in your power to undo the consequences. And if you hadn't been
Again,
so smart
nothing to
about
look
it,
at it.
we wouldn't be here. If anyone can see this through, it's you. Now, could we be done with these endless confessions and get on with it, please?
Yes, sir.
It's so weird for London to be this emotional character. Even as an AI, it's like, why? Why would you be emotional? Why would you want to be emotional if you're an AI? It also feels very much like N is just, again, manipulating London. But I don't know what her main goal would be. Just probably to get him to help in some future part. I wouldn't be surprised if the floor just crashed and we fell down as we approach this. Otherwise, this is just a really long walking path for no reason. I guess maybe the walk and talk would have taken this full length. Again, fingers crossed, no more gameplay. We just have a final section where we, I guess, maybe find another pedestal or device where we put the red cube in, and we can see the end of this. If the game decides to ask me, do I have faith this will work or not, I'll play, I guess, as in and say yes, since that's the character we're controlling. I don't know if there's any other decisions that could be made. I wouldn't be surprised if she just had a, like, one thing I was thinking about, as she says she's a gambler, she has like no coin or any cards on her to indicate that. Like, nothing on her suit or spacesuit is, I guess, from London, no. But if she had been flipping a coin this whole time, and then at the end of the game she just flips a coin and says, whatever, if it's heads I'll do one thing, tails I'll do another, that would be interesting. Although I guess the argument here is she doesn't really gamble because she manipulates all of the things. I guess I'm glad that we're also in brightness. I don't want to end the game in darkness. I'm just hoping that there's no gameplay here at all. So is that me, or is that...
Look, it's dead.
Yeah. It's bleeding and it's dead, and it's probably me, and I'm probably a clone. These aren't amazingly surprising sci-fi revelations. Honestly, if you're gonna pull the trick of it was me, these clones were me all along, they shouldn't look anything like you. They should be hideous black monsters.
They're killing each other again.
But why? I have the cube.
Gods know.
Does clear the way.
Why would they be killing each other again? Perhaps because they...
Did you see that?
It's huge.
And it's doing things I didn't teach it.
Alright, this changes the game a little bit, but kind of what do I care? I can't descend. So is this London? Or is this Trevor, whatever his name was? Am I gonna have to teach my echoes how to fight that guy and take him out? Like, I don't know if I even really need to. Is this the final evolution to say, look, the echoes of N are not worthwhile, so we'll just move to our next character? Our next program? As long as it seems like I'm safe, and that seems to be the case. There's more of them. They're not getting marked as they're really not getting marked as enemies. So since they're not really attacking me, Alright, they are enemies. I need to avoid them somewhat. perhaps fight back on them. Okay. So let's just, it's clearly enough game here, I think, to justify running. Ah, man. So no longer do we have the QuickTime events. What we need to experiment with is, can we kill these golden things? There. Yeah, as soon as I run out of stamina, they're gonna slam me, so... And I don't think we hit a reset here either. So. We would need 4 more things. Is there anywhere where we could save and... Somebody's following me. Let's just hope we can get here and activate this elevator. So ridiculous we're still doing this. Really, I would have just wanted a success sequence here. Just walking down a hallway, you did it. The echoes are clapping their hands and congratulating you or something like that. Just like not anything that would add any frustration or challenge at all, because there's just been so much frustration and challenge in this game. And remember, I'm playing on easy, and it's not been easy. Like, I kind of expect when I play a game on easy to not die once. I've died hundreds of times. So I really don't know why anybody would want to play this on any higher difficulty. And as we keep moving forward, it does seem like the game is potentially getting worse and worse with the lagginess. I'd be interested in seeing what this looked like in ray tracing, with ray tracing enabled, but since Ultra last I heard was out of business, I don't suspect that's ever going to happen. We're kind of going in circles. Like, we definitely have seen sections like this before. So we went down hundreds, if not thousands, of kilometers to go to just a slightly different looking area. Again, they should have controlled the camera and had us look up while we're going up the stairs at some point. There is something to be said about taking control of the camera but then allowing the player to move it back if they're not interested. Just a subtle action like this. We're so low down, though, I can't really say, okay, we're now ascending the stairs to heaven or anything like that. That would be ridiculous. And it does seem like we're going to have to do one more final puzzle We're saving, yeah. So there's our checkpoint. So unless this game is going to be rather generous and not put any enemies whatsoever around, which I suspect is not the case, we're gonna have to deal with trying to collect all the keys. I don't know where the elevator would be, so perhaps this is a case of an elevator that goes upward. Oh, by the way, there's now red curtains, which we haven't seen in any other part of the game. Alright. So how many do we need? 34? I just saw a robot over there. The problem here is it's not resetting, so we kind of need that reset to kick in if I was gonna try and teach these guys to shoot. But they're gonna shoot me and not shoot the robots, so it then becomes kind of pointless. Another failure, another load screen, another frustration point. Alright. Let's go ahead and see if this will take us somewhere we want to be. Answer to that is no. I don't think I can push the robots or do anything. And I don't think I can survive long enough to do anything else. I wonder if perhaps there's, once I have all the keys, that will just deactivate everything or something like that. Can I descend? Nope. But this takes too long. What if I taught them to go after the robots and they only went after the robots for some reason? Like, could that be a possibility? Like, is that even a chance what would happen? Or would they start shooting me just because they had seen shooting? This is so dangerous. So dangerous.
Halfway there.
Alright, halfway point and a save spot. Great. There's all kinds of things all over the place. Let's go down lower, I guess. Let's see. There's like a robot over here, but I can't see him. So I have to kind of just avoid getting seen by the robots always, because they can outrun me and they can definitely outfight me. She turned around just as I was holding down the B button. Alright. This is just another great example, though, of how the strategy here is so awkward and unfamiliar that even if there is something to all of this, I'm not really getting a good understanding of it and around it. This is an elevator that's taking me way down, which is probably an indicator that we're in the wrong place. But we'll look over here, I guess, and see how this all works. Yeah, that's probably the final door. Or that's where we started. That could be where we started. We may need to go back up. Yeah. Right. Try to get as many of these as we can, while also avoiding danger. So it'll be interesting to see now, did I just teach them how to kill the robots and fight back, or like, I don't even think these robots reset. Oh man, so now I'm like really far behind, I think, from where I was, because I have not found a save spot. Yeah, we're decently far. Decently far away. Maybe if we teach them just the black crowd control shot, that wouldn't be too big of a deal. Still just trying to get as much done as possible. Let's see where this elevator takes us. Well, save spot. Alright, we're at the highest area. So I think we're cool. So, at that point, am I safe? Like, am I safe to do these 2 shots that are actually required to kill robots? So I either taught it to... I guess I can descend down there. I'm not sure this is a smart move, but... See, so now you have this problem in which even if you try to descend and run somewhere, you're potentially setting yourself up for failure because you don't know if there's a robot anywhere close to you. And so that becomes a problem. Had to be real careful on that one. Please tell me it's not a robot chasing me. Yes, of course it's a robot chasing me. All this is just struggle. And this is the kind of struggle that you don't see in video games anymore for good reason. Nobody likes it. Like, in a nutshell, people don't want to have to deal with the frustration of dying for cheap BS reasons that are hard to control, and they don't want to have to be in an incredibly difficult scenario like this. All right. Did anybody learn from that? I'd say the answer is probably no. So can I perhaps just chase the robots away and shoot the robots freely without any consequences? Maybe.
A few more to go.
Really didn't have time for that. Well, she's shooting at me, so much for that strategy. Alright, we've got it. We don't know where it is. I've got to get out of here, and I've got to figure out the best way to do that without dying, or find a save point. Either would be very helpful. Alright. Seems like we've got it. Seems like I lucked myself into the perfect location. So one more elevator, either going up or going down. Looks like we're going up. And of course we're not getting any of these secrets and collectibles. I couldn't care less. Let's just finish the story. Let's just be done with it. Are we gonna have a big boss fight? I don't think we are. I think that's kind of it. So, a big part of the story not getting revealed here, and you just have to look it up online if you cared. Like, again, I think if you had a 100% unlocked save file in this game and started playing that way, and if it has like a casual mode where you don't have to, you're invincible, or there are no enemies, that would be the experience I think you'd want. So I really don't want these guys to know that they can. Can I descend here? No. That's too far. Can I hit this guy? I don't think I can. Is that the only key? Yes. So this has got to be the final boss fight, and I kind of assume that there's not going to be any other kind of fight or anything that goes on besides this. So we're approaching the end, which inevitably this means I'm going to go long. Right. Well, if I'm gonna take on these fighter guys, I really do need as much energy as possible. There are definitely sections of this game, by the way, where you could not have just walked downstairs. So the idea that elevators were 100% optional is a disingenuous thought. So at some point in some of these puzzles, you would have had to. I haven't seen a reset in a long time. And I don't think that there's actually anything more to this. We just gotta find this guy. Go that way. Grab the key.
Got it.
And then mad dash our way up and out. With a little bit of help. Like, we don't even have the echoes playing a role, so nobody's learning from my actions, so I'm cool, I guess. And it'd be kind of pathetic if this just ended the game. So this is just an elevator taking us up again.
This is it, Anne. We're here.
You're breaking up.
I'm hearing you fine, but the sphere is messing with your reception.
Okay. Walk into the light. Embrace eternity.
If I cut out entirely, I'd better say this now. Good luck, Anne. And be careful.
Yeah, that sounds like a boss fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if this just fades to credits. And that's it. Or she's back in the garden. Be weird if they animated the garden, though, that was mentioned and not shown before. I'm just pushing forward. I assume if I hit an edge, I'd run into no real problems.
What's this now?
It's the real spaceship instead of the real facility. Now this looks like the spaceship we started on in the game.
It must be making it from Foster's memories to ease his return.
Sure.
Look at the detail.
Look at the detail. Okay, yeah, it's a nice interior of a spaceship. And an infinite wall with resets.
What the?
Now we've got the lighter, and now she is no longer in the spacesuit. She's back
The
in.
cube. It's gone.
The cube. I think you're in for a disappointment. There's nothing in there. It's just a pretty cube.
What?
The fact that your grandfather did unspeakable things doesn't prove he was right. That Foster can come back.
These are my memories.
That's insane.
This isn't about Foster. It's about me.
You consider yourself the answer to the eternal questions of life and death. You killed him. You've lost our chance. You killed him, you stupid bitch. And now you've lost our chances of bringing him back. How clever is that?
So, yeah, slowly walking, doing a walk and talk. And we're back on the spaceship where the game started. This was not really a twist that was earned. There needed to be more characterization and more interaction and stories. Maybe some side events besides the gameplay that was terrible. The gameplay really gets in the way of the story, and the story gets in the way of the gameplay. Hmm.
Foster.
Hmm.
So that's how it is. Just like last time. Only one of us is getting out alive.
Hmm.
That's all I asked for, I suppose. A chance to correct my mistake. I just didn't imagine it would be this damn difficult.
Hmm.
Well, you said it, Gramps. Great challenges and equally great rewards.
Her character model looks a lot like a character from the game Contrast.
Take care, Foster. Of London as well.
So no decision there. She just does it, which is fine. Pick an ending. That's decent writing. So if you were going to have a sequel to this game, it would have to be then with a different character, almost certainly. Definitely not a deep emotional journey that it should have been. You kind of get the feeling that they may have been doing a Dante's Inferno idea, going down the 7 layers of hell, but there really weren't 7 layers. Of course, the reason why Dante's Inferno works is it's an extremely long play, with a lot of details and a lot of story and a lot of side events, none of which we ran into in this. Here you can see that through the credits, not a lot of people worked on this game, and it is undoubtedly pretty. You cannot take that away from it. But even the prettiness got boring, and the lagginess, because it was so overly textured and overly designed with way too many 3D models, became a problem, certainly. It was overly ambitious, to say the least. So, new settings available, legacy game mode. Enemies learn over 2 cycles instead of 1, changing the dynamic fundamentally. Ultra hard difficulty, harder than hard, and the echoes need 2 shots to die. All unlocks can be now accessed from the main menu. So, basically, the things that unlocked as far as difficulty are ultra hard, which I'd never want to play, or legacy game mode, which is also something I would never want to play. So I've been saying it, and at that point I can't really recommend the I can't really recommend playing this game. Interesting. It says all unlocks are unlocked, but that's not true at all. We could select a level, and I guess this would tell us where this goes as far as different puzzles. So everything in the Arrival in the Service, that early section that really does not do much for the game, there's no collectibles here, so we're done. If we were going to do this, we would try to find more voices and see. Apparently there's a cinematic you can play, or maybe, I don't know, like, will this just play a cinematic, or is it just indicating that it is a cinematic, or there is a cinematic in it? I'm not sure. So yeah, you'd really have to go through this and try and get all the voices and try and get all the orbs, which are down at the bottom here for this game. 1 cell crystal in the level to collect, and 17. And what does the Y do here? Why will shows you this, which we did unlock the voice. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so just all the cutscenes combined on YouTube is about the best I could suggest for this game. It's not worth playing. There is no easy mode unless there's some kind of mod here. I struggled like crazy to get this game beaten on easy. I couldn't even really understand what the difference would be between easy and medium and hard would be, because easy was too hard, and the game feels broken in its gameplay mechanic, and I'm just gonna throw it out there and say I believe that's probably the case. These levels give you names, but the names don't really change the meaning of this simplistic story as it's being told. Well, I was comparing this to Control. I will say Control has much better gameplay in the long run, even though the final boss battle in Control was super hard. It has better story in the levels. It has more story. It certainly had a lot more budget, but it did more with its game in totality than this did. Whereas this looks like a game that was half developed, and very possibly it was supposed to be some kind of animated movie that then got developed into a game, and then they had to expand it with levels and a gameplay mechanic that just does not work. This very possibly may have been, were it something like Square Enix or EA, this might have been a game that simply would have been canceled, and then the art assets would have been handed off to another team just in early game testing, because man, is that frustrating. I guess the story ends in the theistic Gnostic theistic argument being right, which is pretty typical. Managed to make it to her heaven and make it through all the challenges of her heaven and accomplish her goal of bringing back the guy who we have no care about whatsoever, because we never heard him speak a word or do anything. If I was to hit continue here, nothing. Let's see, we could see where this goes. I imagine it just loads into.
You've been descending for almost 2 hours, 339 kilometers. We're getting close.
Like, this is really, really far back. So if there was any kind of other save file or ending, it's really, really, really far back. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, there's just problems there. Major problems. Yeah, I assume you have to collect all of the orbs, the keys, and the final boss battles to unlock each of these suits. There's 5 suits, or 5 unlocks of some kind. Again, a 100% save file. Probably better to start that way. Even if you were going to just start a new game, you would get more out of it to have somebody else's effort to unlock the unlocks, so you could play with them and flip them around with the different skins. One could make an argument that her hair is intentionally done in a old-fashioned style as a way of not having any hair effects on her appearance. That probably is the case. Also wish the camera would let me actually look at her. But it's never gonna really have that, so unless I had get it crammed in a corner or something, and then turn around. Yeah, the camera is clearly designed so that you can't look at her face dead on, probably because she doesn't look as good as it seems. Yeah. Contrast is an interesting comparison because it was a small indie game that I think had a better story than this also, and it was visually intriguing, but it was a little short, but its gameplay was better than this too. And then the other game, Remember Me, I think probably tells a story similar to this, way better, and its story is still a little weak, and its gameplay is a little weak. Honestly, I'd think that Remember Me might have a slightly better story than even Control does, depending on whether or not you like all of the pickup text files that you have to read in Control. If you actually read all of that, you probably would like Control more. But yeah, this in the visuals department, and that was the main comparison. I do want to point out, seems like this game came out in 2017, Control came out in 2019. You can have a very pretty game, but both of the games fall into a mistake of having too much. Just too many textures, too many polygons, too many reflections, and both games run into compatibility, well, performance issues, and not compatibility issues. Whereas if you just toned it down a little bit, used less of a repeating pattern, make the squares a little bit bigger in a lot of these patterns, probably would help a little bit. Have fewer unimportant elements, which, by the way, no destructible environment. We never even tried that. It does leave a bullet hole pattern, but that's it. Control has destructible environments, but again, a much bigger game, much better funded game. I kind of wish this game was funded more. I think that with the graphics you could make a good story around this and a good gameplay loop around this, but what we're left with is a very infuriating gameplay loop and I will say slightly ambitious religious algorithm story, but and an end of life story, but it really doesn't have enough writing or to have any heart or depth to it, and not enough writing for this to be cut down. If all the cutscenes were merged together, I don't think you get 90 minutes, and if you don't get 90 minutes, you don't have a feature length film. So I don't think this could be cut down to a movie. It might be cut down into like a 30-minute web movie. That would be about the closest thing we can do. Well, there's really nowhere else to go with this. That's going to be it for this series. This series took forever. It was really, really short, actually. I can definitely tell, though, that had I done 30-minute episodes, it would have just made it twice as bad, just for all the frustrating resets. But yeah, we probably only did spend 7-8 hours, which is good for me. It usually takes me a couple hours more than what howlongtobeat.com suggests it takes. But yeah, it felt like forever. This felt like a 15-hour game, and that was just because of the dying and the QTEs over and over again. It's really a shame. We have a lot of games on Steam like this where they are not AAA games that everybody's heard about. That they are slightly interesting indie games on PC, on Steam. But then they don't ever sell enough for the company to support the development of a second game, so the company that develops them inevitably goes bankrupt after the first couple of years. after their first release. A lot of game companies, of course, don't even make it to their first release, so even releasing a game is often a miracle. Unfortunately, these indie games often suffer from this problem. Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice, which came out, I believe, after this by a couple of months. I could be wrong about that. It may have come out a couple of months before this. Is a much better example of a female protagonist game with a character dealing with a moral dilemma going throughout in a game environment, and it being made by an indie company and looking very pretty. So this game, Echo, could very well have learned from Hellblade had they had more time and had more budget. Anyways, that's going to be it for this stream, this recording. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, watch every second of my videos. All of those things, or any of those things, will tell YouTube that my channel and my videos are worth watching, so it's very helpful. I have playlists for all the other games I've mentioned, so go check out the playlist for Control, go check out the playlist for Contrast, go check out the playlist for Remember Me. I think they're all fair comparison to each other, at least in the visuals department. While each has very different gameplay mechanics. There is a point here that we have 3 games with very simplistic names. Remember Me is a little less than a basic name, but Control, single word, basic word. Echo, single word, basic word. Contrast, single word, basic word. We really need to start seeing indie developers and just all game developers thinking about their names better than what they are, or give them a subtitle at least. If this was called Echo Memories of N, or Echo Trevor's last Psalm, or something like that, then you would have a full title, something that would be very Googleable and searchable. Whereas if you just type in Control on a like DuckDuckGo type search that's not doing customized results, there's a good chance you won't get Control the video game. If you type Echo into Google, even if you are using your own account, it's still a good chance you won't get Echo the video game. There's a better chance, even if you type Echo game, that you would get Borderlands, which have the Echo piece of heads-up display equipment. If you type in Contrast, very, very good chance you're not going to get a video game on the search. So these names are too simplistic, unnecessary, frankly. Anyways, I was wrapping up, and I'm kind of just rambling in circles at this point. Yeah, I have playlists for a whole bunch of other games, lots and lots of games on my channel, so go check them out. Furthermore, if you want to support me, which would be very much appreciated, as a small-time YouTuber, you can support me through Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me either a gift card or a game you'd like to see me cover, or a game off my wish list if you don't want to pick. All of those are very helpful options that allow me to continue to justify being a YouTuber. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.